Hello everybody, it's John from Devious Gamers. It's here, it's finally here. After 2.5 months of waiting, and then so much teasing from Mad Matt on the forums, the DLC has finally arrived. Now this is a beta DLC, and I will show you why it is a beta DLC in a couple of minutes, well after I've finished going through all the new stuff. And this is unusual. He's carrying an anti-tank weapon or an anti-air weapon or something like that, and it's a command squad. So that's wrong for a start. Alright, so I'm going to start off with Denmark because they are the first in line, and they get a new M113 with its stats there, as you can see. It's just a box standard M113, you can't really dress that up or make it any better. So that's a new vehicle, and then you get this, which comes in, I think that comes as a command vehicle itself. Yeah, there it is. So that's a new command vehicle for Norway, actually. Alright, I'll double click, make sure it's definitely only Denmark. Then they get a Unimog supply truck, which okay, it carries less supplies and it's slower but cheaper. They may as well have just kept the Jupiter. That is a weird thing for them to do, okay, and pretty damn stupid. Alright, then the first new Danish infantry unit, which is the FKP. Now these are special forces, and stats wise they're fantastic. 875 meter on the cargo staff, 20 AP, 60 accuracy. The mini-me has received a buff, maybe a little bit, and they got new camouflage, which is good. Then they have the I don't know what it's called, but they have the net over the faces, which is supposed to break up their profile and stop their faces from, well, you know, looking like faces. But I think for special forces, and you can see on the icon picture up here, they have a backpack on. It would have been better if they had backpacks, because these guys, well, they kind of look a bit not boring but unfinished, because obviously you wouldn't go into war without any equipment, and these guys look like they don't have any equipment. Oh well, but for stats wise, it's nice that Denmark finally has some special forces. Elite training 30 kph, which is really good. Alright, next new unit is the Ildropsgruppe, Ildstottegruppe. 5 support team. They have the cargo staff M2, which has 2 heat damage, 18 AP, 70% accuracy, so that's very good. 700 meter range. One of the things in the new beta, well in the patch, is most of the 90s units, their range goes up to 700 meters for their anti-tank weapon. Then you have the Livgarden, which are the bog standard one. And then you have the Livgarden 90, which has the cargo staff M3, but that has a range of 875. They have the same gun. The only thing that changes is the cargo staff. As you can see, longer range, 2 more AP. Alright, and then you have the anti-air, which is a Stinger, and 70% accuracy. Same range as the previous one, but it has 70% accuracy, 2 more E. I've been playing quite a lot today, so I've been talking a lot with Ben and Steve, so my voice is a bit tired. And then you get this gun truck, which, as cool as it looks, I don't actually know how you're going to find a use for this. It really does look like something from either Mad Max or Games Workshop. You know, Warhammer 40,000. It looks like a saber defense platform with heavy stubbers. But yeah, so that's its stats. I guess one of the good things about it is it's 150 on the road because it's wheeled, but the range against helicopters is piss poor. Got a good rate of fire, but I don't know if anybody's actually going to put this in their deck to take up a slot. Now, this is a really good hawk, but this one is better. Not only is it better stats wise, it has 10% more ECM, but the EOTS hawk is not radar. It says radar missiles 3, but you cannot kill this by seed. It is seed proof. Now I don't know if that was intentional or if that was a mistake. You see on the stats, there's no radar or no rad. Granted, you pay 15 more points for it, but it's seed proof. Hopefully he'll keep it like that. And then the automatic, which is fucking huge. Look at that. This is radar. It is kinetic also, so the closer it is to the target, the more damage it will do, I believe. I'm not entirely too sure about that. Feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. Same range against aircraft. And it is stationary, so it does have to be still in order for it to shoot. But look at the range. Ground targets, it does really well. AP of 12, so that will fuck up some ground units. HE of 3, 60 rounds a minute. So that is very good. And then the new Leopard, which looks awesome in its green camouflage compared to the dull, so dull old version. Just compare the two so you can see the stats. At 60 points, has 10% more accuracy, 5 more stabilizer, AP is 16 compared to 12, and it has 2 more frontal armor. So yeah, finally they get a fairly decent medium tank, which is something that Denmark has always needed. They get the Jaeger 90, which come with MP5s. Then they have the Carl Gustaf M3, although this doesn't have any HE, so it's only anti-tank. And then they get the Minimi with 413 rounds a minute. Now, this possibly might have a bug. Just let me check something. Where are they? Oh no, they're in the infantry tab, sorry. Now if you look there, the Delta Force, their rate of fire for their MP5s is 533. Now I don't know if Eugen have made a mistake and they've messed something up big time, but there's also, if I go on to what tab are they in? Where are they? No, just Germans. There we go. Leicester 40s. 533 rounds a minute as well for an assault rifle. So they've obviously made a mistake with that. And also the motor shoots in HE of 40, multi-shooter 90 HE of 28. So Eugen are aware of this. It is on the forums, so they will probably patch it on Monday. Today's Friday, by the way. So yes, they have made a few mistakes. I have no idea why they would need to mess around with stats like that, but they have done. But anyway, this is going to be a really good unit. I don't know the availability, but it will be a good kick-ass unit. Now this looks awesome. I'm not even going to try and pronounce that. I can pronounce Swedish words. I'm not even going to try and pronounce Danish words. Danish is a completely different language. But that looks fantastic. 110 off, 150 on. Really? 652 rounds a minute. What do they... Ah, that's firing faster fire than that one. Okay. I'm going to look forward to using that. Then they get the Laro Tow 2 with its invisible gunner. Just compare that to the first Laro. More accurate, a lot better armor penetration. It's the Tow 2 compared to the Tow 1. And yeah, just because you should see it in the vehicle tab, that's the new M113. Looks really good with the smoke dispensers on the front. It's just a shame you can't actually use the smoke dispensers. And they should have just modelled a gunner on there. Then they get the two new Fenix. This is the Danish version of the Lynx 20mm. Has two 20mm cannons. I had a game recently where I used some Lynx 20mm and they just wrecked a column and killed a lot of the infantry in it before they actually got killed themselves by helicopters. So these can actually have a use. That's a long casing. And then you get the Fenix Tow 2. 26-25 meters, 70% accuracy, 50 stabilizer, and 25 AP. 290 kilometers an hour. So it can get around. Still slower than the Lynx though, which is a shame. And then the aircraft. That's old, this is new. F-35 Draken, WDNS. I think the WDNS is the name of the upgrades package that they gave to the Draken. Draken is dragon in, well, Swedish and Danish, I guess, but Draken is dragon. Then they get 500 kilo bombs times 6, and as you can see, there they are. The skin looks a bit plain, just from lack of colours. It looks well done, but it just looks plain from the lack of colours. Then they get the F100D. I'm going to love to use this just once, just to see how it does. 70mm rockets times 76. Now, it has no ECM. This is going to be a one-hit wonder plane. No ECM. Poor turn speed, or turn rate. And it's not the fastest, but I think it's 3 HP, so this will kill any infantry that it hits. So it's going to be interesting to use that. Then they get this. This is a very, very cool F-16. Mavericks, which are fire and forget. 50% accuracy. It has 4 of them. 50% accuracy, 26 AP. And then it comes with 4 fire and forget AMRAAMs as well. Good stats. Very good. Very, very, very good stats. 1000 kph as is all F-16s. ECM is 40, which is good. And also a quite a good turn radius, 350. And then the last plane is the CF-104. Not so good stats. I think primarily you might be using this for helicopters, shooting down choppers. 0 ECM, bad turn. Slow speed. 4 fire and forget missiles, 50% accuracy, very short range. So you probably will only use these to shoot down helicopters. It's not great, but at least it's new. Then you get this, the Gripen for Sweden. I'm going to go into, oh no, actually, you know what, I'm going to start from the very beginning. This is the beginning. I'm jumping ahead of myself. I will show you later, my apologies. Then you get this, it's just a new transport, basically. But then you get this, the Strip VB90. It's basically STR B90 command vehicle. How cool does that look? And then you get a little Scania supply truck, which I'll just compare to the old one for you. There you go, it carries more supplies and it's faster. Not amphibious though. Good thing about the Amphibial 101 is it's amphibious. This new Scania is not. Okay. Then infantry. Ah, they get the AK5. That's why I recognised it as being different. Okay, so you get the Kustjägare and the Kustjägare 90. As you can see, the AK5 is sorry, my bad. There we go. No. I want to. I'm not going to be able to point at the different things. Right. So if you compare the two, accuracy on the Kustjägare is better by 20%. That's quite significant, to be honest. But the stabilizer on the AK5 is better. They carry the same number of rounds. The AK4 has better suppression, but a slower rate of fire. So it would be, I don't know, better for attacking with these. No, better defending, sorry, with the Kustjägare. You move on to the anti-tank weapons. They get the AT-12T, which is a 120mm heat rocket compared to the 84 for the Carl Gustavs. Same range, 700 meters. Accuracy is less, but the AP is more, 7 more AP. And slightly, well, the Carl Gustav fires twice as fast, but this does have more suppression. And then they get the same light machine gun, which is basically a GPMG or an M240B, just with a different name. Alright, so I'll unpin that. And then they've always had that. Then you get the Nordlandsjägare. Well, I actually looked these guys up on Wikipedia a couple of days ago. They carry the AK-4. Now, because these are not special forces, whereas the Kustjägare are, they're a little bit worse stats for their AK-4. Slower rate of fire. It's the same suppression, same HE. Less stabilizer and less accuracy. But they do come with a recoilless rifle. Who's the poor sod who has to carry it? The guy with the GPMG as well. Poor fucker. They always have to carry it. 1570 meter range, which is good. Accuracy of 30. It's not so good. AP power of 12. This thing won't be killing any tanks unless you hit it in the rear or the back. But it will knock out light vehicles. If you come up across a BMPT using this, you're going to be screwed. But the good thing is they still run at 30. And they are shock. So that helps with their suppression. Right, wrong button. And then Panzerhütte 90. Just compare those to the base ones. Same weapons, apart from the AT. They get the AT4. Less accuracy, one... Oh, I don't know if that... You know what? There is absolutely no reason why you would take these over the base ones. You get one more AP power, but you get 15% less accuracy and a slower rate of fire. Why the hell would the... No. There's actually no point taking them. Because you're going to miss more with the AT weapon. And the exact same stats, it's heat and stationary, obviously, as well. So that's a silly move. But anyway, it gives you more choices for infantry. And then finally some... Oh! They've actually given them proper suits. Flamethrowers. I don't know if Sweden ever operated flamethrowers, but they do. So you can get them in the new vehicle, and you can get them in the STRF 9040. Unpin that. And the band cannon. The band cannon 1C. Get in. Now you can see from the stats. Oh, don't do this. How do you... You know what? I'll leave it on the... Again. For 10 points more, you get a better dispersion. That is it. But it's 15 kilometers an hour off-road faster. Or faster off-road, sorry. It's still the same rate of fire of 12. Still 24,500 meters. But it is more accurate. It is a lot more accurate. And if I just compare, it's not as accurate as the AS90, nor the Caesar. Just turn those off. Where's the Paladin? Still less accurate than the Paladin. Let's find the Russian ones. Same dispersion as Mister. Is there any other? I think Mister is the only Russian one. Where's the East German artillery? There it is. And the 2S19. So it's the same as those. So it's still not as good as these three have for their artillery. But it is still quite a fantastic artillery weapon. So I would be very happy to use that. And the model itself is very different. I don't know if they used a different modeler to do this, but they are very different. I don't know if the weapon itself in real life was this different, but that's puzzling. That's strange. Okay, moving on. The Amos. IKV Amos. This has the Sturf 9040 chassis with a beastly turret. I mean, the size of that turret, it looks like it has eyes on either side. You can't see because of the shadow, but it looks like has eyes. So it's twin firing mortars. Now, I haven't seen this in game yet. We've played a few games tonight, but I haven't actually seen this, so I can't tell you how it works. So I'm just closing my laptop. But if you look at the stats, 7,500 meter range, or 7,700. The dispersion, look at the dispersion. This thing is accurate. Now if I just find the Nona. 2730. 2730. So it's the same dispersion. 9 rounds a minute to 11. Oh, so it's slower firing. So I wonder what will make up for it then. Suppression 276. It's the same suppression. And if you look there, oh, fuck off. The rate of fire, if it's shooting directly at something, is a lot faster than when the Nona has to defend itself. Same accuracy, same AP, because they're both 120mm. But the armor is a lot better than the Nona. Slower because it's tracked. But I would have thought it would have been a lot faster than 9 rounds a minute. Hey ho. But it's still, that's going to be a beast. And then you get this again, Sturf 9040 chassis, awesome. These are going to be, the Swedish mechanized deck is going to be fantastic. You get the Amos and you get this LKV 90 radar, so it can be killed by seed. Kinetic energy, it's 40mm. 2800 against helicopters and 2625 against planes. It's not stationary, so it can fire on the move, which is good. 60% accuracy, 35 stabilizer. 35 stabilizer is not the best, but it's certainly not bad, with fairly decent armor as well. And then you get a Land Rover. Oh, actually it says Land Rover on the front there. I mean, come on. Could they not have found something better? The good thing, always try to look on the bright side of life. The good thing is that it might be able to keep up with your land units at least halfway to getting to the target, because the fuel is 75 litres. And if you look at the tracked versions, 250, 500, 750, 75. Right. Yeah, that thing's going to run out of fuel before it gets to the front line. So if you're charging halfway up the map, this thing will get a quarter of the way before it stops. And then you get a twin RBS 90 version for 5 more points with a lot better stats. Longer range against planes and helicopters, more accuracy and better stabilizer. But again, 75 litres in fuel. Ugh. Right, and then the Beast. This is the new STRV 105. Compare that to the old one, the 104. It has a normal gun range of 2275, 70% accuracy, which is very good, 40% stabilizer, which is not bad, and 16 AP, 8 rounds a minute, and it is 60 kph off road. Frontal armor is still 10. Actually, the frontal armor, the all-round armor is the same. It just has a lot better main gun. I guess it's an updated fire control system, because it's still the same. It's the L7, so I'm guessing it's just an updated fire control system in the turret itself. And then you get the Sturf 103D. The little white camera was supposed to be, because this gun should have been, or the tank itself, remote controlled. They made it so you could, it was just a prototype. So you make it so it was remote controlled tank, so you didn't have to have any crewmen in it. Just compare it to the C. Now they're both static guns. This gun was meant to be used in forests in defensive positions, so they could shoot and then reverse out of the position and run away. So this can actually drive backwards just as easily as it can drive forwards, which is why it's static, and obviously because it has no turret. Accuracy's 5 more, has 1 more AP, same rate of fire, so 15, so if you get a couple of these all firing together, you will massacre any tanks that come within range. Especially because I'm not entirely too sure if this is an autoloader. I will have to look that up later. But the armor on the front is 15, so it's 2 more armor and 1 more side armor. So this is going to be a very, very good tank. And then the tank that Eugen always denied would ever be in Swedish hands, the Leopard, which is the Sturv 121. Now let me compare this. This is supposed to be the Leopard 2A4. There we go. All right. Right, if you look at the bottom, hey, it stayed on. Sweet. This is exactly the same. Same accuracy, same stabilizer. It's actually the same gun. The AP power is different though. You get 4 more AP with the Sturf 121. I think that may be because it's using more modern ammo. I think it's an updated ammo. Its machine gun is more accurate, has a little bit more range against helicopters but less stabilizer and a lot slower rate of fire. But yes, that will be a very, very, very good tank for the Swedes. Right, in the reconnaissance tab, oh, you get another one. I did not know that. I love this vehicle. Very good optics compared to, let me just see, that has medium. Alright, so the reconnaissance one has very good optics compared to the base medium. Exact same gun, it's the exact same stats. It's the same vehicle, just the guy has a pair of binoculars. And then you get this for the reconnaissance troops. They don't have a 90s version of the Fallschirmjäger, but they did upgrade the Carl Gustav for the 700 meter range, as with all of them. Okay, in the vehicles tab, you can ignore that. Then you get the IKV 105, which, if you compare it to this looks awesome. I like how this looks. And then you stick this big thing on the end. It just looks naff, to be honest. And they didn't fix something that somebody pointed out was, if you see here, the skirt, bottom corner of the skirt there, you can see through it. And there, somebody pointed that out on the unit of the day card, that you can see through it. They obviously haven't fixed it. But that just looks stupid. Looks like, I don't know. But compare the stats. It's a little bit more range. Now the armor is still the same, even though it's supposed to be, this is extra armor. It's still the same armor value, 3211. Still amphibious, which it's not supposed to be, as far as I know. But the gun, getting back to the gun, accuracy is 15% more accurate, 5% better stabilizer, and 5 AP better. Slower rate of fire though, it's 1 round less. But still, it's a 105 compared to the 90, so it can kill tanks, which is what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be a tank destroyer. And then you get this thing. When I first saw this on Unit of the Day, I actually thought it was a Wimmick. but obviously it's not. It's anti-tank weapon, 50% accuracy. Obviously, no, it doesn't say stats on here, but this probably should say stats because there's no stabilizer. But if this thing hits, it's going to hurt. 26 AP. This is basically what's the infantry anti-tank have. It's the same weapon, just mounted on a jeep. Helicopters, nothing new in the helicopters. The planes, now this is where I first started off. That looks quite good. But if you look at it compared to the unit card, it looks really, really awesome. You look at it here, it looks kind of, well, not as good, but we shall see. Right, let me just compare that to, say, the Eurofighter. There we go. That's why I couldn't take the mouse off. I didn't click before. Okay. So that's the same missile. So that will be the same for both. Different infrared missiles. The Typhoon has a better infrared missile. Same turn radius. Typhoon has better ECM. Same time on target as well. The gun, exact same gun. So for 15 points more, you get a better short range missile for the Typhoon. Alright. And then let's find the Rafale. Alright, Rafale has 50% ECM? What does the Typhoon have? No, Typhoon has 50 as well. Okay. So again, the Swedes getting the short stick with the infrared missile. But other than that, it looks like quite a solid plane. Should hopefully be quite good. Okay, so I'll unsticky that now. Same. They get a napalm plane, which actually has 20 ECM. Doesn't look it. It kind of looks dumb. It looks like a Dumbo kind of plane. But has 3 napalm bombs and 20 ECM, which I never would have thought. Yeah. Alright. So let's go back to Norway. Or go to Norway. That's a new APC for them. He just has a radio. And then the exact same vehicle in the command tab as well. I'll take off Sweden. Then they get a new Puma supply helicopter. This is white and red because it's a civilian helicopter commandeered for military use. The Norwegian military didn't have, I don't know if it's the same case now, but at the time they didn't have a lot of military helicopters. So the plan was to pinch all the civilian ones to use for military use. So what I'm going to do is have a look, because I know that the French use Puma supply choppers, and then compare the two. So the Norwegian one for 15 points more is better, it's faster, and it carries more. Okay, so turn the French off. No new supply truck for them. They don't really need it. Now, FSK, Norwegian Special Forces. Compare them to the Fallschirmjägers. And then you can see. The Fallschirmjägers aren't classed as Special Forces, but they still run at 30. That's because they're shock troops. The FSK have the C7 instead of a Norwegian weapon. So it gives them faster rate of fire, same accuracy, but 30% stabilizer. They carry the Eric's missile. I'll take that off now because I don't know if there's supposed to be an upgraded Fallschirmjäger or not, so I'll stop comparing. Eric's missile, 25 for AP, so if this hits, it will hurt 60% accuracy, which is quite good. Then you have the Geverman 90s. Compare them to their earlier dudes. Really? Is that it? That's a piss poor upgrade. 10% better accuracy and 3 more AP. For 5 more points. Yeah, I guess you would take those if... yeah. But they do come in this. Oh, this is the Norwegian version. Right, so how do you do this? You do that. Pin for comparison. Go back to Sweden. Go to the vehicles tab. And then click on that. Just compare. Right, so that has the Bushmaster 2, which is 30mm compared to the Sturf 9040's 40mm. That's a Bofor. And the Bushmaster 2 has 1 more AP and a faster rate of fire. Exact same armor and exact same bottom stats here. Same price though. Kind of seems like Sweden's getting the short end of the stick. Oh well. But yes, you do get a brand new APC with the little flag on it. Alright, then you get an RBS 70 Mark II. Just compare that to the previous one. Just a longer range, same accuracy, but with less missiles. You get 2 less missiles. Is that really worth it? Not too sure. You'll have to decide that yourself. You don't get an updated Stormer. The only thing they've updated is the cargo stuff itself. Then you get Storm Engineers and Storm Engineer 90s. Now obviously there's nothing to compare these guys to, but they're the stats as their 2 new units. So they get an Eric's missile, but the good thing about this Eric's missile is, HE, so it can target infantry, but it can still take out vehicles. That's very, very good, very handy. These will come in handy for defending towns. Oh, they actually have gas masks on as well. No idea why. But then they get the cargo stuff, M2 70 accuracy. That's very, very good. 18 AP and 2 HE. 15 rounds a minute. Reload time for this is 5 seconds. Okay, then support tab. These get an MLRS. It's not clustered, so it won't do that much damage to armored targets, but it will be deadly to infantry. It's kind of a boring model, but it is really well done. And I say boring because there's no camouflage on it or anything. It's just a bog standard green, but you can see the, I can't think of the right word. It's not dirt, but it's not plain green, I guess. But it could do with sexying up a little bit. Now I do believe this is new as well. That's quite a new looking unit as well. That'll be good. They finally get some decent long range artillery. And then this was on the unit of the day. Kind of made everybody laugh. It's like, what the hell? But it's 150 on the road, so you could, for 15 points, you could throw a shitload of these into your starting force. And with the current meta of how the game is now, with lots of helicopters generally at the start, these could be your little escort trucks. Try and shoot down some helicopters. 2450 range, 20% accuracy, 20% accuracy, so that's not great, and 5% stabilizer. So you're best off stopping these so they can shoot. Now the NASAMS is looking like it might be quite a good unit. It's radar, it's fire and forget, 60 accuracy and 7 HE. Again, this will be very good as an escort because it's 150 on the road with it being wheeled, but it's 85 points. Now 6 missiles. You might want to use this as an escort, but it's rather vulnerable because it has no armor whatsoever. Okay, and then you have the 2 new tanks. The skins are almost identical, but the turret looks different. Yeah, it's the front part of the turret here is different. You can see that they've been... they've got no detail here, whereas they do on this one. Lazy modeler. People pick up on this. Alright. On with the show. 65 accuracy, 50 stabilizer. You got 1 AP difference. 2 more front armor. Exact same stats here. So it's the same gun, so I'm guessing modern ammo is the difference here. And with it being a Leopard, it is 10 rate of fire. Right, now just compare this one to the one that we were forced to use before. Come on, 30% more accurate, 20% more stabilizer, 2 better AP. A lot better frontal armor. 4 is not a very big number, but it is quite a big difference. Then they get a civilian helicopter for their reconnaissance, and that's it. The vehicles tab, they get a tow-to jeep. Actually, I'm not sure if they had this from... They might have had this always, I'm not too sure. Now I downloaded skins, so that's why everybody looks like they're wearing American BDUs. That's the new APC. No new helicopters. They get the CF-104, which is a napalm plane. They get the F-16AM, which I'll pin that, and then I'll find Danish F-16, which is this one. They're both air-to-air fighters. Now, let's have a look at this. The Norwegian plane, 10% ECM, exceptional air detection. As they are both F-16s, they have a turn radius of 300,000 kph. This is where the difference is. Okay, that's why the price difference. That has the MRAM, that has the Sparrow. AIM-9s are different as well. So the Danish F-16 is better in close quarters, if you want to, well, dogfighting rather. Whereas the Norwegian plane is better for longer range. 10% better accuracy and stabilizer. Also carries 4 with radar, whereas a Sparrow is only semi-active and only has 2. So you pay 40 points more for your radar missiles, which I guess could come in handy. And then they get the A5A puff. I don't know if Eugen were being serious with this. Captain Carnage used a few of these in a game and they barely killed anything. It's quite a short range. Accuracy is only 50. It has a bad turn radius, bad ECM for what is supposed to be a seaplane, a very slow speed. So I don't know if this is a kind of a joke unit, but we shall see. And then the mystery unit. Where is it? The Vickers Mark 11. Now, I saw a few of these used in a game, and I killed a few of them myself. It actually has a really good gun. It's amphibious, which is good. It's 150 on the road, which is good. So this is, well, basically a tank destroyer. It has a tank gun on it. All the good tank stats. Very accurate for a vehicle. And it's got relatively good AP. So this will kill light vehicles, generally in a one-shot. Tanks it's going to struggle with, but at least it can still shoot at a tank range, which is quite good. Now, there are no other new units, so that is that. Actually, before I go, I'm going to leave it on that. This is the beta for the DLC. The DLC itself will be released in January, which is a shame because they should have released it for Christmas, but for some reason they're not. So it'll be out in January. They are going to release new maps, even though they said for a long time that they're not. But hey, they said that they wasn't going to release the Leopard 2 for Sweden, but they did. There it is. So yes, so there will be new maps in January. They will hopefully fix the infantry, like I showed you before, with the Multischützen, 40 HP. Nothing in this game has 40 HP. Actually, what does the Nighthawk have? The Nighthawk only has 20 HP, for Christ's sake. Yeah. Alright guys, that's it for now. Don't forget to check out the other videos on YouTube. And I also have a Twitch channel, which we've just started streaming to. That is on, if you go onto Twitch and search for my username, so John1981UK. Have a look on there, there's a couple of videos up already. And yeah, hope you like this. If you have any comments or suggestions, please feel free to leave below. And I'll see you next time. That's it for now. Bye bye.